Well, hey everybody, it's Steve at 1000 Year House. So, temporary 10-minute project here. I've wanted an outdoor kitchen. I'm all out of groceries. I've just went and bought. I'm going to restock. So before I restock everything, let's rearrange this whole area and make it a little more pleasant for my outdoor kitchen with my pop-up camper next to me because I'm fully moved in, to the shipping container home. So, let's get it done. So for those of you who use a camp stove, you can buy a valve for your 20-gallon propane tank and refill these. Now they're not legal if you refill them. This particular kind's not legal on the street, so you can't refill them and drive. But at your place, you can refill them. Eventually, the nozzles will give up, right, and they'll leak, and that's why you can't refill them while driving. You just don't do that. So I refill them and I keep them outside, so no big deal. And now my 1-pound container's refilled from my 20-pound container here. Those of you that want to look at the doohickey that I use for that. All right, I don't know, probably Amazon. And then you have to flip it upside down so that the liquid propane gets in the canister and not just gas. Otherwise, you'll only have enough for a cup of coffee. But 1 pound is what you're after. I found that's between 7 and 15 minutes. Your mileage may vary. Then turn it off and flip it right side up. Let's talk real quick about design here. So it's underneath an awning, so that's what's above you that's cutting it off. That was cheaper than me replacing the awning that the wind ripped off the Coleman, which would have been like $800 or something. I just went and bought I think it was $99, a Coleman awning, and this one's straight side, so get the straight side. If you get the ones that stick out, then it won't work. You can't bolt it to the side of your trailer. And then I just did that. I just strap tied them to the side of the trailer. Man, that's made it through some hurricane winds, let me tell you. So that works. And eventually when at that and, compared to the cost of replacing the awning, yeah, I could replace these for 20 years. This little pop-up trailer may not last that long. So anyway, design. So this area is going to be a dinner area. So I'm going to get the ice cream table and set it up there. I need a couple more pallets to make that square. Back here, it will be my, I'll go ahead and make my stove and wash area. This is the landing table. Eventually, if it doesn't get too torn up from the rain, it might go inside the house. I don't mind it a little weathered, but you could see that it's not genuine wood. It's not a high quality table. I didn't pay anything for it, so, it'll probably stay where it's at. Oak and things like that will go inside. All right, let me keep working here. All right, Internet, throw me any ideas you might have. Throw me any ideas you might have. I'm not going to pick up this 2 pallets. I'm going to leave these 2 pallets in place, work around them. Pallets don't last long in Texas. Those is not a permanent thing. if I like it, and this is where the outdoor kitchen will be, but I don't think it will. This is just probably one more summer of me cooking outside, and then I'll have a nice outdoor kitchen with a pizza oven and whatnot. So let me get a couple more pallets and stick them down there. The termites will get into them. I've accepted that as a acceptable loss. So all I'm doing is building around what's already there. It's nothing fancy. It only fits a certain way, so, it makes it easy. True story, the advantage to doing this time of year is the chance of getting stung by a scorpion is a lot less. It's not zero, but it's a lot less. All right, internet, so different view of this little thing. I thought the other view wasn't letting you know what I'm doing. I really don't know what I'm doing either. I'm just real quick rearranging stuff before I redo the ice. All right, that'll get a little fine-tuned later, but now I could put my drinks and whatnot in there. Let me shuffle things around just a smidgen. I have another pallet. I'll throw it on that end so there's a little more room by the table. And I'm gonna call that a night. So originally this piece of granite was gonna be in my bathroom, but it just won't fit. So I've wanted an outdoor kitchen, so it wasn't a waste. I just moved it to the outdoor kitchen, and I'll set that up properly with additional supports and stuff when I get a moment. So. Well, what people can't really appreciate until they're in such a situation is a house is very convenient. Now that sounds dumb, but until you've lived off-grid for a year and a half like I have, you don't really realize how important it is to have a house. For example, doing all these groceries, well, first I decided to put together a kitchen. Then I had to wash out my cooler, I have to bring ice, I have to tote all that. Of course, everybody has to do all that. But it's magnified because, you know, I don't have long-term storage. I'm just a bachelor out here, so it honestly doesn't matter. But if you're going to live off-grid and build a house, you need to be braced for the fact that not everything's instant. Right? Every 3-4 days you're going to go need ice. Now once my big solar's in and I got my fridge on, that'll be a different story. But right now, everything's a little less convenient than you would expect. That's just the way it is. But you know, I don't mean that as in the way of a complaint, because I'm kind of enjoying the simplicity of living small. And I don't know, you know, I'm still part of the global community. I got to go in and get groceries. I'm not self-reliant in any way, shape, or form, but I'm smaller than I've been, and I pay better attention to the world around me. And you know, I plan my groceries for 3 or 4 days, you know, so I know exactly what I'm doing. There's not a pantry full of groceries here. Once I eat up the groceries that are here, that's it. And I do not go to town until I've eaten the last can of soup. And, you know, you always get that weird thing in the back of the cupboard. Nobody likes black-eyed peas and anchovies or whatever. Well, I don't have that problem because everything I buy I need to eat. So, we'll see there. And then I did want the pop-up trailer to continue to be my kitchen because I don't want any chance of rodents or insects or anything like that in my shipping container, right? That's a bedroom. I'm trying to treat it like a bedroom even though it's in the middle of construction. That's a hard bit of business too, living where you work, right? In construction. I don't think anything's harder than that. But I'll be all right, okay, out here. This time of year, I'm not worried too much about the fire ants raiding the trailer, although I do see them around. But I make sure I buy healthy, nutritious. I don't know, there's something to be said to all of this, you know. It really is. Having a little outdoor kitchen, this is a good idea for me to... I've never had an outdoor kitchen. You know, I've always had a grill. But a genuine outdoor kitchen like you would find in Mexico where they do the cooking outside, that's kind of what I want to do. The back of this house here, this shipping container, will be a veranda coming out with the outdoor kitchen. And maybe a washer and dryer will be outside. I haven't decided that. In Mexico, they get away with it. And I'm thinking if I'm careful with how I run the water, and I might get away with it here too. Because I only have a few days that freeze, so I don't think I'll break my pump if I put a relief valve in there. So that's an idea. We'll see. But when I lived in Mexico, the outdoor kitchens were very nice. And all the laundry was done outdoors. And everybody got used to it. But they had less of a risk freeze in Toluca or Mexico City or Guadalajara than I do here. I've got a risk freeze 6-8 days a year. And you wouldn't want to lose a couple of thousand washing machine on a ridiculous, right, freeze day. You know, if it wasn't just me working, if I had a partner out here or I had somebody helping, I'd be double the time, maybe a third the time. So I could already have been in a shipping container if one person didn't have to do a 9-to-5 job and could just focus on that. You know, I think you could get one done in 8 months from stem to stern. For those of you who don't get your own groceries, a partner does that for you. You need to thank that partner. Once you start doing it yourself, you realize, hey, it is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. All right, all my cold goods. Put some waters in there, and then I always set up a cooler, and I put my leftovers in an igloo cooler separate to this. This is just for my drinks. That's it. There's my outdoor kitchen. So changed it up quite a bit. In a few minutes, I don't know how long I've been at this. I've got a dinner table now to eat at, little ice cream table with 2 chairs. I have a wash-dry station, which can also hold a stove on that end. And I'll set that up with the propane. I now have a grocery stand where I could put the coolers and have all my groceries at the handy. And then lastly, the shipping container itself. I'm sorry, I said shipping container. Pop-up camper is acting as a closet and a food pantry. And inside there, I also have it sealed in a plastic bin, all the food that I bring home. To try to control everything out there. So this is Steve, 1,000-Year Home. Nothing special. All right, well, there's my outdoor kitchen. It doesn't look too bad coming up to the pop-up camper. And this is a rough draft 1.0. I've got my dinner table all straightened out, cleaned up. I'll fix that up, including a bucket in there where I can wash up. And there's my cooler with drinks and my coolers with meat and lunch meat and things like that. And looks pretty good. It's a comfy little cozy thing. So if I had some lights hanging from the ceiling, it would feel all the better. So I think that will get me through the summer as things get a little warmer and I can cook over there from time to time. So, but I wanted to take a break from the constant drywall videos that have been going up and just spend a minute doing something that was fun and needful, something I've needed to do for a long time. So like, subscribe, follow me along. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.